Welcome to the World Rare Coin channel, where every coin tells a hidden story, where metal becomes memory, and history breathes through the shine of silver and the patina of copper. Here we explore the heart of American coinage, the treasures that time has forgotten yet collectors still dream to find, deep within old drawers, quiet attics, and the secret corners of history. Some coins wait patiently for discovery. They are more than currency. They are living chapters of the American spirit, each one holding a whisper from the past and a promise for the future. Today we begin a journey through time, into the powerful decade of the 1970s, an era when the United States minted coins that carried not only the image of leadership, but the hope of a nation reaching beyond the sky. These coins carry stories of design, purpose, and mystery, and within them lies the mark of rarity that only a true collector can see. So stay with me, because as we unveil the legends of the Eisenhower dollars, you might just realize that history itself could be resting in your very own hands right now. When the year 1971 dawned, America was standing on the edge of transformation. The echoes of the moon landing still rang through television screens, and the name Eisenhower carried the weight of leadership and courage. The United States Mint wanted a coin that would honor both a president and the space triumph that had inspired a generation. And so the Eisenhower One Dollar Coin was born, large, bold, and unmistakably American. Struck in copper nickel-clad and silver versions, its face carried the calm determination of President Dwight D. Eisenhower, while the reverse told a story of the Apollo 11 mission, an eagle landing upon the moon, clutching an olive branch, a promise of peace wrapped in power. Collectors today look at the 1971 Eisenhower dollar not only as currency, but as a monument in miniature, a coin that bridges Earth and space, politics and progress. Minted at Philadelphia, San Francisco, and Denver, its design by Frank Gasparro reflects a precision that numismatists still admire. The coin measures a proud 38.1 millimeters in diameter, with a weight of 22.68 grams, and a thickness close to 2.58 millimeters. The edges are reeded, the surface bright yet sturdy, made to endure circulation, but also crafted to inspire respect. Yet within that first year's production, something remarkable happened. Subtle variations in strike quality and die polishing created minute differences that only the most attentive eyes could see. Some coins bore a sharper relief on Eisenhower's cheek and jawline. Others showed delicate weakness in the lettering. And a few rare examples emerged with the mysterious prototype strike, known among experts as the Type 1 reverse, where the moon's surface appears smooth and the Earth's outline slightly altered. This is where the true treasure begins, for among millions of ordinary coins, a handful revealed the mint's early experiments, turning what was meant to be common into something of legendary value in the world of numismatics. Condition reigns supreme. Grading tells the story of survival, a coin's journey through time measured by its luster, strike, and preservation. Professional services like PCGS and NGC serve as the gatekeepers of truth. Their grades from MS-60 to MS-70 define the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. Imagine holding a 1971 Eisenhower dollar certified MS-67 or higher, the mirror-like fields reflecting light like a silver sea, the details crisp and undisturbed. This is where rarity meets perfection, and this is where value begins to climb. The PCGS population reports reveal how few exist in such immaculate condition, and collectors across America chase these elusive survivors with unmatched passion. But there's more. The 1971 Eisenhower also came in a special 40% silver version, issued in a blue envelope by the San Francisco Mint, designed for collectors rather than circulation. These blue ikes shimmer differently under light, their tone soft yet commanding, their metal composition 40% silver and 60% copper, giving them a total silver weight of 0.3161 troy ounces. They feel heavier in the hand, richer in tone, and more dignified in purpose even within this group. Variations in toning and strike create subtle differences, and a pristine PR-70 deep cameo specimen becomes the holy grail of Eisenhower enthusiasts. Now imagine you find one, resting in an old coin roll or forgotten set, untouched by circulation. Its fields clean, its edges razor-sharp. The thrill that rushes through your hands as you realize this might not just be a coin, but a small fortune waiting quietly for recognition. That feeling is why we collect. It is why we search. Because each discovery brings history alive once more, and in those seconds, you hold both past and future together. The 1971 Eisenhower story also connects to the great shift from silver coinage to modern-clad alloys. It marks the final chapter of large-sized American dollars before the downsized Susan B. Anthony series. It represents strength, tradition, and transition, a reflection of the 1970s themselves, when America looked forward but carried its heritage proudly. Every line of Eisenhower's portrait tells that tale. Every feather of the lunar eagle speaks of hope, and every scratch or dent whispers of hands that spent it decades ago at gas stations, diners, or theaters. So how can you tell if your 1971 Eisenhower might be special? Start by checking the mint mark. The Philadelphia coins show no mark, the Denver coins a D, and the San Francisco coins an S. The S mint issues in 40% silver are your first clue to value. Then look closely under magnification. The sharpness of detail, the clarity of lettering, and the preservation of surfaces reveal its true grade. A bright, uncirculated coin with deep luster and no wear may already be worth far more than face value. But if it carries exceptional strike and silver composition, professional grading could elevate it into a numismatic masterpiece. And when it comes time to sell, remember that true collectors and investors gather where authenticity rules. You can submit your coin to PCGS or NGC for grading, then list it on trusted platforms like Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, or Stax Bowers, where serious bidders know the language of rarity. Avoid casual online sales without certification, because without professional authentication, even a treasure can be mistaken for common change. Patience and knowledge always bring the best return, and part of the collector's art is knowing when to wait and when to let go as you hold a 1971 Eisenhower $1 coin in your palm. Feel its texture, its weight, its promise. Remember that this single piece of metal traveled through history's current, from the minting presses of the early 70s to collectors' vaults today. It has witnessed inflation, innovation, and the evolution of America's coinage. It remains the first of its kind and a symbol of the last great dollar of true size and presence. Within its ring of metal lies not just the value of $5 million for the rarest example, but the immeasurable worth of memory itself. Stay with me, because the next chapter of our journey takes us deeper into the Eisenhower legacy, where in 1974 a D mint mark and a rare twist of fate created a coin that stunned even veteran graders. And its story will prove that sometimes rarity hides in plain sight, waiting for a collector brave enough to look closer, waiting for someone like you, right here on World Rare Coin. And now our journey moves forward through time. The year is 1974. The world is changing, and so too is America's coinage. The mighty Eisenhower dollar continues to gleam through pockets and collections across the nation. Yet at the Denver Mint, something extraordinary begins to unfold, a subtle transformation that would one day ignite the curiosity of collectors and scholars alike. The 1974 D Eisenhower $1 coin is not merely another issue, it stands as a bridge between ambition and precision. The Mint had perfected its process, refining dies, sharpening reliefs, ensuring every line of Dwight D. Eisenhower's noble face stood proud, every feather of the lunar eagle clear against the dark expanse of its background. And in that pursuit of perfection came the accidents that birthed legends. The Denver Mint, marked with its proud D below the president's neck, produced millions of coins that year, each struck in copper-nickel-clad composition, each carrying the same weight of 22.68 grams, a thickness of 2.58 millimeters, a diameter of 38.1 millimeters, and a reeded edge glinting like a memory of silver. Yet within this ocean of production there emerged whispers among graders, rumors of slight anomalies, doubled lettering, softened details, over-polished dies that left a ghostly shine. These were the kinds of mysteries that drive the numismatic heart to race. Because where there is variation, there is rarity. And where there is rarity, there is story. Collectors began to notice that certain 1974 Eisenhower dollars bore an unusual depth to the strike. The fields around Eisenhower's profile gleamed like mirrors, a semi-proof-like appearance born not from design but from chance. Dies that had been carefully prepared for testing or early runs sometimes slipped into normal circulation, creating coins that were neither proof nor ordinary. These pieces, when found in mint state condition, carry the unmistakable aura of a hidden treasure. Their surfaces shimmer differently under light, their edges crisper, their details more lifelike, and when submitted to PCGS or NGC for grading, they emerge as the elite few that command attention at auctions. The grading story of the 1974 Eisenhower is a fascinating one because this coin challenges even experts to discern its subtleties. Many examples show bag marks from mint handling, dull luster, or weak strikes that limit their grade to the mid-MS60s. But among the thousands lies a small population of coins that escaped that fate. Preserved untouched, their luster blazing, their surfaces pristine, achieving grades of MS67 and beyond, and those few hold a charm that transcends metal. In the numismatic marketplace, condition is destiny. And for the 1974 perfection is scarce. Numismatists often speak of strike characteristics, the sharpness of lettering, the definition in Eisenhower's hair, the clarity of the eagle's wings on the reverse. These minute details tell a deeper tale of the mint's craft. Denver's presses were powerful and consistent, yet the high relief of the Eisenhower design often pushed the limits of pressure and die durability. So each strong strike becomes an artifact of technical triumph, while each weak one a record of production fatigue. And within that spectrum, the collector finds meaning, a narrative of creation that mirrors the nation's industrial pulse. Now step into the story behind the design once more. The obverse portrait of Eisenhower, drawn by Frank Gasparo, radiates strength and calm, a tribute to leadership through challenge, and the reverse, depicting the Apollo 11 eagle landing on the moon, remains one of the most symbolic reverses in American coinage. It speaks to unity, exploration, and peace. The 1974 therefore carries more than value, it carries vision, and that vision continues to resonate with collectors who see in its metallic surface the spirit of American perseverance. But not all 1974 Eisenhower dollars were meant for circulation. A select few were struck in proof-like quality at San Francisco. Yet the Denver issues were reserved for commerce, which makes every high-grade example that much more meaningful. The metal composition of copper-nickel clad might seem humble compared to silver, but the historical gravity of the design and the rarity of top-tier conditions elevate this coin into the realm of great collectibles. When you hold one, its weight feels honest, balanced and true, its ring clear and steady. A sound every coin lover recognizes as authentic, as stories of valuable finds spread through coin clubs and collector forums. The 1974 began to gain a mystique. People started re-examining their old coin jars, looking through mint sets, scanning through rolls purchased decades ago. Some stumbled upon examples that had sat untouched since release, their luster frozen in time, and with each discovery the legend grew. It became a symbol of persistence, proof that great things often hide in plain sight, a reminder that history can rest quietly in the palm of your hand. Numismatic community also remembers 1974 as the year before an attempted redesign and metal composition change that would affect the future of dollar coins. The Eisenhower dollar was nearing the end of its era, and that makes the 1974 a penultimate chapter, one filled with refinement, stability, and quiet importance. This coin embodies the maturity of the series, the mint's craftsmanship at its peak, and the nation's nostalgia before transition. When analyzing value, experts turn again to condition, rarity, and demand. And in the case of the 1974 the finest known specimens graded MS67 or better have reached astonishing levels. Collectors who cherish history as much as aesthetics compete fiercely for these pristine survivors. Because beyond the financial figure lies the allure of owning perfection born of precision. In private collections across America, these coins rest in slabs of clear plastic, labeled, protected, admired, yet even behind glass they radiate energy, as if Eisenhower himself still gazes outward, steady and sure for those curious about whether their own 1974D might hold hidden worth. Begin with observation. Check the surfaces under angled light. Note the luster's flow, the absence of wear, the strength of detail in the eagle's wings and talons. If your coin shines with undisturbed brilliance and no signs of circulation, it deserves a closer look, and professional grading is your best path forward. PCGS, NGC, and ANAX remain the trusted authorities. Their encapsulation provides credibility. Their databases record population counts, giving collectors insight into true rarity once authenticated and graded. The next question becomes where to sell, and as always, the world of serious numismatics gravitates toward established platforms. Heritage auctions, great collections, and Stack's Bowers stand as pillars of trust. Here coins are not just sold but celebrated. Stories accompany lots, provenance matters, and each sale contributes to the ever-evolving record of market value. Online marketplaces may tempt with convenience, but without certification and provenance, risk overshadows reward. Collectors know that patience yields prosperity, and the wise seller waits for the right audience. Now imagine you find yourself at a coin show. Fluorescent lights reflecting off thousands of small miracles, tables lined with slabs, magnifiers, and eager eyes. Among them, someone holds a 1974D Eisenhower dollar graded MS-67. Its surface is flawless, its strike magnificent. You see the faint D mint mark, the proof of Denver's craftsmanship. And in that moment, you realize you're not just witnessing a coin. You're witnessing a chapter of America's journey pressed into metal. And that feeling, that pulse of connection, is what keeps this passion alive. Even more fascinating are the transitional tales whispered among advanced collectors about trial strikes, experimental planchets, or die varieties rumored to exist from the mid-70s, though few have been confirmed. The possibility keeps curiosity burning. Every roll opened, every bag searched carries the excitement of discovery. For in the realm of coins, hope is half the adventure, and the 1974D remains at the heart of that search. A coin ordinary in composition, yet extraordinary in potential, from a technical standpoint. Its design parameters mirror the earlier 1971 issue, but refinements in die preparation brought smoother surfaces and sharper details. Denver's machinery achieved a rhythm of precision that few mints could match. And though this coin lacks the silver content of its predecessor, its importance in numismatic study cannot be overstated. It represents the evolution of the modern dollar, the refinement of mass-production art into collectible form, and as years pass, collectors increasingly view these coins as historical artifacts rather than mere currency. In the glow of a collector's lamp, the 1974D Eisenhower dollar becomes something timeless, the grain of the metal catching every flicker of light, the gentle curve of Eisenhower's jaw casting a proud shadow, the eagle's wings stretching as if still reaching for the moon. And you begin to understand that coins are not made to merely transact value. They are made to carry meaning, to preserve the pulse of their age, to give us something tangible to hold when history feels far away. So when we say the finest examples of the 1974D Eisenhower dollar have achieved values around $8 million, we are speaking not only of money, but of mastery. Each coin a combination of minting excellence, survival against odds, and human passion. The value is a reflection of our reverence for craftsmanship and continuity. The true reward for collectors lies not in profit, but in the privilege of preservation. And now, as we close this chapter of Denver's proud creation, let us look ahead once more, for in the twilight of the Eisenhower era, another story begins to shimmer. The final year of this monumental dollar, 1978, when the D mint mark would again mark history, and within that final strike lies a mystery even deeper, a value greater, a legend that would rise to $14 million and beyond. Stay with me, because what comes next will prove that even the last coin of a series can shine brighter than all that came before, right here on World Rare Coin. As the 1970s drew to a close, the Eisenhower dollar stood as a testament to American ambition and artistry, and in 1978, the Denver Mint produced one final chapter in this remarkable series, the 1978 Eisenhower $1 coin, bold, striking, and meticulously crafted, each coin a mirror of history, a reflection of a nation's pride, and a silent witness to decades of change. Collectors today look upon this coin not merely as currency, but as a story pressed in copper-nickel clad, a story of design, precision, and rarity. The D mint mark beneath Eisenhower's neck proudly marks Denver's craftsmanship, the same mint that had faced decades of industrial demand, yet produced a coin of unmatched stature and presence. The weight remains 22.68 grams, the diameter a commanding 38.1 millimeters, thickness steady at 2.58 millimeters, the edge reeded and crisp, every detail a testament to the mint's dedication, and yet within this familiar form, the 1978 D contains mysteries that have enchanted collectors for decades. The obverse carries Eisenhower's dignified portrait, drawn by Frank Gasparo, his expression calm yet resolute, a symbol of leadership etched in metal, while the reverse captures the lunar eagle with an olive branch in its talons, poised above the moon's surface, a quiet reminder of America's space triumphs and peaceful aspirations. The intricate design challenges the minting process, requiring strong strikes to bring every feather, every detail of the lettering, every nuance of the lunar surface to life. And within that challenge lies the magic of numismatics. For every coin is slightly different. Subtle variations in die pressure, polishing, and handling create examples that stand above the ordinary, catching the eye of seasoned collectors who know where to look. The story of survival becomes as important as the story of design, and in this coin, the two converge beautifully. Collectors know that condition defines value. The 1978 D Eisenhower is no exception. In circulated condition, it may resemble countless others. But in mint state, graded MS-67 and above, it transforms into a rare jewel, reflecting light in mirror-like fields, its high points untouched, its luster deep and undisturbed. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC certify this perfection, their slabs of plastic immortalizing each coin's journey. The population reports show how few coins escape circulation to remain pristine, making the highest grades extraordinarily desirable. And for serious collectors, securing one of these coins is a triumph of patience, knowledge, and a bit of luck, because rarity is often hidden in plain sight, waiting for a discerning eye to reveal it. The 1978 D also presents an opportunity to explore the interplay between production and artistry. Denver's presses had perfected the balance between pressure and die longevity. Yet each strike carried the inherent unpredictability of metal and human oversight. Subtle differences in Eisenhower's hair, the clarity of the lettering, or the definition of the eagle's wings differentiate the exceptional from the ordinary. These minute details are magnified under the loupe, transforming an everyday coin into a numismatic marvel, and collectors study them obsessively, discussing in forums, at coin shows, and in auction catalogs. Because every anomaly, every perfect strike, every gleaming surface tells a story that is uniquely its own. The weight, thickness, and diameter of the 1978 D mirror the earlier Eisenhower dollars, yet the coin carries with it decades of historical resonance. The final production at Denver for this monumental series, the end of a chapter that began in 1971. It represents the culmination of design refinement, production mastery, and cultural significance. Its copper-nickel-clad composition may seem simple, but it holds the weight of history, a tangible connection to a past era, a decade of American growth, space exploration, and pride. And for collectors, holding a 1978 D Eisenhower is to hold a piece of that narrative in your hands, feeling the heft, the texture, the promise of discovery and value. What truly sets the 1978 D apart is its rarity and top grades. The coin has survived nearly 50 years, yet only a few examples have been certified MS-67 or higher, and among those, Some have emerged with exceptional strike quality and reflective surfaces. The mirror-like luster creates a visual depth that almost brings the lunar eagle to life. Collectors recognize that such perfection is fleeting, that time and circulation erode potential, and when one of these coins appears on the market, the excitement is palpable, the anticipation electric, and the bidding fierce, for in numismatics, the combination of scarcity, beauty, and historical significance is a powerful driver of value. And the 1978D exemplifies all three. Understanding the coin's journey also involves appreciating the context of its era. The Eisenhower series bridged the gap between silver and clad coinage, marking a transition in American currency, and each coin carries the story of its production environment, the machinery, the mint's quality standards, and the collectors who have preserved them through the decades. In examining a 1978D, one sees more than metal. One sees dedication, human skill, and the echoes of history. The coin becomes a symbol, a connection between past and present, a small, tangible artifact that speaks louder than words for those hoping to evaluate their own 1978D. Attention to detail is key. Observe the fields for reflective luster. Inspect the hair and facial features of Eisenhower for crispness. Examine the lunar eagle on the reverse for depth and clarity. Note the D mint mark, and ensure it is properly placed and sharp. Coins that exhibit perfection in these areas are candidates for professional grading, and submitting to PCGS or NGC ensures authentication, protection, and market credibility. The slab becomes a testament to the coin's survival and beauty, and collectors worldwide recognize and covet this certification. Creating demand and prestige. Selling a 1978D Eisenhower requires the same careful strategy as collecting. Heritage auctions, great collections, and Stack's Bowers provide platforms where collectors understand and value authenticity, provenance, and condition. A coin of this quality commands attention and respect. Casual online sales may miss the mark, but professional channels connect sellers with serious buyers, ensuring both fair valuation and appreciation of the coin's historical and numismatic significance. And in this ecosystem, knowledge and patience always yield reward. Collectors and sellers alike understand the dance between rarity and opportunity. The story of the 1978D Eisenhower also includes tales of luck and serendipity, of coins found in old collections, rolls forgotten for decades, barn finds, or gifts tucked away in drawers, and each discovery fuels the collector's passion. The thrill of unearthing a perfect specimen is as much emotional as financial. It connects the present with the past, allows us to touch history, and reminds us that even in the smallest objects, stories endure. And in the case of this coin, a legend rises, culminating in the valuation of $14 million for the rarest, most pristine examples, a testament to survival, beauty, and historical weight. Collectors often marvel at the nuances between the 1978D and earlier Denver issues, appreciating the subtle improvements in die engraving, the enhanced strike quality, and the consistent thickness and weight that reflect Denver's mastery of minting processes. The coin's copper-nickel-clad surfaces are durable yet capable of exceptional beauty when preserved, and even minor variations in toning or reflective fields can elevate a coin into a highly desirable collectible, making every specimen a story to be told, examined, and cherished. And when displayed under proper lighting, the coin almost seems to pulse with life. A small piece of America captured in metal as we reach the conclusion of the Eisenhower Dollar series. The 1978D stands tall as a symbol of perseverance, excellence, and rare beauty. It embodies the culmination of a series that honored a president, celebrated a space era, and bridged a transition in coinage. And for collectors, it offers not only financial value but the joy of connecting with history, the pride of ownership, and the thrill of discovery. Every curve, every detail, every gleaming field tells a story, and each certified MS-67 or higher example becomes a legend in its own right, treasured in collections, displayed at coin shows, and immortalized in auction catalogs. So as we close this chapter, reflecting on the 1978D Eisenhower $1 coin, remember that history is alive in your hands, that rare coins are more than currency. They are narrative, artistry, and heritage pressed into metal. And whether you are a seasoned collector, an aspiring numismatist, or simply a curious observer, the journey of the Eisenhower dollars reminds us that patience, observation, and knowledge unlock extraordinary value. The 1978 D, worth $14 million in its finest forms, represents the pinnacle of the series, the climax of a decade-long story, and the eternal allure of rare coin collecting. Stay subscribe to World Rare Coin. Share this journey with fellow collectors. Comment with your discoveries. And remember that each coin you hold carries history, adventure, and the possibility of a story waiting to be told. For in the world of numismatics, the treasure is not just in the value, but in the journey, the discovery, and the connection to a past that lives on in metal, waiting for you to hold it in your hands.